FPL Game Week 35 Wildcard Team Selection. My wildcard is active, and today we'll be taking a look at my latest draft. What are the potential final bits of injury news I need to hear before I make my final draft? But I think I'm pretty there on about 13 of the 15 players in my wildcard. We'll have a look at what that means for my lineup going into Game Week 35, of course, starting as soon as tomorrow. And we'll have a look at what transfers I plan between now and the end of the season, given we have just 4 weeks left. 4 game weeks, 2 doubles. Wildcard is active. We're officially in the FPL run-in. What is up, everyone? FPL Harry here. Before we dive in, 1,000 likes is the aim. Subscribe if you are new around here. And Game Week 34, the craziest double I think I've ever seen, is drawing to a close. I'm recording just as Manchester City versus Brighton is drawing to a close. It is currently 4-0. Phil Foden, who I did sell this week with a brace already. Congratulations if you have him, but congratulations if you have one of the many players who did haul in FPL this week, right? Mateta, Eze, Ben White, basically anyone that doesn't play for Liverpool or is Bukayo Saka is on a pretty decent return this week. The triple up on Liverpool for me wasn't great. I had Virgil van Dijk, Luis Diaz, and then Mo Salah, but it was a good game week. No Erling Haaland for Manchester City tonight means I get Zabani 7 points off the bench. All that toing and throwing on the deadline stream came up to mean absolutely nothing because Haaland didn't feature at all. 134 points all out. First of all, let me know how you got on this week. I know there have been scores from as low as 50 all the way up to the 200 point mark. It has been one of the most mental, swingiest up and down game weeks I think I've ever seen with people's scores. It is a nice green arrow for me, fortunately, despite not playing the free hit this week, up from 11.5k to about 4k. The official rank hasn't fully updated, being close to the end of the game, but I will give you that official rank on the video for you. So a very good week for me, up to over 2,000 points overall. Yeah, really nice run that we were on. 4 weeks left. Wildcard is active this week and bench boost to be played in a couple of weeks. My aim now is just to hold on to it. I'm in the top 10k for the first time this season. It has taken me 34 weeks to get here, and now the final 4 weeks, it might look when we get to my wildcard that it's a little bit boring, but I just want to hold on to that top 10k or even top 5k finish now. Now, having a look now at my Game Week 35 updated wildcard, and a few things have changed since last time. But before we do that, once again, this video is very kindly being sponsored by NordVPN. NordVPN have been sponsoring the channel throughout the season because it is the VPN service that I use. It is the fastest VPN in the entire world. And whether you want to keep yourself safe online, protect yourself from those digital pickpockets, people trying to steal all your information, or potentially you travel a lot and you want to keep up to date with all of your latest shows, you can do that on NordVPN. All of these benefits plus exclusive discounts at the moment and up to 6 months free using the link that is in the description down below. So if you're interested, whatever you could potentially use it for, again, use the link in the description to get those exclusive discounts and up to 4 months free on NordVPN. But looking at my team for Game Week 35, where is my wildcard draft at the moment? The big thing for me that has changed a few things, particularly in defense, is Malo Gusto looks like he's unlikely to be available for Game Week 35. We've seen a fan TV account from Chelsea apparently talk to Gusto, where he says he's not back in full player training and he's expecting to be back for West Ham, which is the fixture for Chelsea in Game Week 36 after the double. So as a result, he comes out of my defense and Petrovic is one of the 2 goalkeepers that I go with. I don't love it. I'm not certain as a Chelsea fan he plays every game between now and the end of the season, but it's better than doubling up on the Spurs defense with their fixtures. And he is the first choice, and Sanchez is currently yellow, orange, red flagged at the moment. Basically, Chelsea aren't being very clear what's going on with him. So Petrovic and Ederson are my 2 keepers. Again, Ederson with a nice double, still chasing the league, and as we saw tonight, pretty comfortable win for Manchester City against Brighton. Into defense, of course, there is now no Malo Gusto. Pedro Porro has been said to be back in Spurs training. A lot of press conferences today on Friday, which hopefully confirms some of this injury news to the likes of Gusto, to the likes of Pedro Porro as well. We do have Diego Dallo in here. It could be Harry Maguire, who did get the big return earlier on in Game Week 34. But I do think if I have the money, Dallo will be in there. And then similar at Newcastle, I could go for the cheap option of Dan Burn. But I think Fabian Schär is worth the money, given we're not expecting to see Kieran Trippier back very soon between now and the end of the season. He might just make some of game week 37, game week 38, but definitely not worth the risk when you have Fabian Schär, who's playing very well. Now, outside of that, there's just no real defenders I want. I could add another Spurs option in there. Could go for a Romero, of course, who Doggy's injured. I could potentially double up on Manchester United, but I've just gone with double Arsenal. I just think they'll keep as many clean sheets between now and the end of the season as any of the teams with a double do. The double for Manchester United is Arsenal at home and Newcastle at home. Spurs have a difficult double this week and play Manchester City in their double in game week 37 as well. Now, it's not the best on bench boost, but if anyone has a better defender to go to than Ben White and Gabriel at the moment, I think they'll keep 2 clean sheets between now and the end of the season. I don't think any of the other defenders that I could buy will outscore them. So at the moment, I've actually reverted to having double Arsenal defence, Schär, Dalot and Porro as my 5 defenders, Ederson and Petrovic. It means I don't double up on any defence that I don't want to, and Arsenal is the only one I have a double up on. Now, into midfield, it is back to the doublers. Palmer and Son for me are non-negotiables. We've seen pictures of Cole Palmer back in training for Chelsea. Son, of course, with the double-double. We've seen pictures of him training and shooting. Doesn't sound like Richarlison is necessarily going to be that far away, but to be honest, I think they could do with him. It could boost their attack and Son a little bit having Richarlison back. I would potentially consider Richarlison, but given we don't actually know if they're going to be throwing him straight back in and starting him, I will just stick with Son. Phil Foden was 2 goals so far at time of recording in the Manchester City versus Brighton game. De Bruyne got the opener and it did make me think a little bit about going with him, but I can't ignore Phil Foden at the price. Bruno Fernandes, of course, hauling. He'll be very popular now. He was in my wildcard draft earlier on in the week and he's going nowhere. And then Anthony Gordon, nice, cheap, great run of fixtures and some good home fixtures, including Sheffield United at home this week. Then up front, the moment Erling Haaland is in there, we're not sure, we're not very confident at all that he's going to be back for Forest this week, but let's again wait and see if we get any more updates on Friday from Pep after he did not give loads away on Thursday evening. Alexander Isak of Newcastle, again with Wilson back, maybe a little bit of uncertainty over his minutes going forward, but I'm sure he's going to play most of them. He'll play 4 of the last 5. He might not start all of them, but he's reliable even in then. And then it is Nicholas Jackson. I know lots of you will not like the Nicholas Jackson pick. He's missed chances. He's missed more chances. And he's even missed nearly as many chances as Darwin Núñez has recently. But he has 2 doubles in the final 4 weeks. He's evaded the yellow card suspension for only having 9. Didn't get the 10th one, which he should have got against Arsenal. Quite how he didn't get at least a yellow for that tackle, I do not know. But Nicholas Jackson is in there, and with the doubles, he is definitely going to be staying. So having a look at what that means for my lineup this week, Petrovic starts in goal with Ederson on the bench. We go Fabian Schär, Diego Dalot, and then Pedro Porro with double Arsenal on the bench. What could possibly go wrong benching double Arsenal defence this week? Phil Foden, Son, Gordon, Fernandes, and Cole Palmer in midfield. And at the moment, it's Isak and Jackson up front with Haaland on the bench because I'm not certain at all he's going to start. What are the chances he goes from not featuring at all on a Thursday to being able to start a Premier League game on the Sunday? I think there's more chance I don't go with Haaland at all than I start him this week. So if he is miraculously confirmed fit, I have a real benching headache. It's probably Bruno Fernandes that drops to the bench or potentially one of the Newcastle guys, but it's probably Fernandes or even Jackson with the double. Fernandes or Jackson would probably drop. Fernandes is the one I would drop now if we hear that Erling Haaland is actually going to start, but I think that's very, very unlikely. Captaincy this week is pretty clear for me. Now that Cole Palmer is back in training, Cole Palmer will get the captaincy armband and Heung-min Son has the vice captaincy for me this week. So just planning my transfers between now and the end of the season. And one thing you will notice when I do this is I've said a few times, I don't think you want to book a transfer in apart from in game week 38. Something will happen between now and the end of the season or now in the doubling game week 37 that I don't want to have a booked transfer. I plan on rolling 2 transfers into game week 38 to get rotation, get Arsenal back, get potentially Liverpool back for their final game under Jurgen Klopp. So I basically think you need to wildcard a team that you're happy to bench boost in game week 37. And if things go wrong, then you can use a transfer. If not, be in a position where you can burn the transfer. So this is my team for game week 35. It says I'm 0.1 million short, but I've made transfers earlier on in the week, bought a couple of players before their price rises. So I have enough money for this draft. I have about 0.3 million spare. Going into game week 36, we will bring in Ederson. He'll come in off the bench. I will be lucky enough to start the double arse defense. Probably Diego Dalot and then Pedro Porro will be the ones to drop out. If Erling Haaland is back, he'll start, and it will probably be Anthony Gordon who drops out because Gordon's home form is much better than his away form. So much better. So that would be the plan for Game Week 36 if everyone is available. Going into Game Week 37, the bench boost would look like this. So we'd have the double Arsenal on the bench. We'd probably have Petrovic and then maybe Gordon, maybe Nicholas Jackson out of the front seven. So that is the team for Game Week 37, and I'll have 2 free transfers. But as I say, the aim is to burn a transfer unless something goes wrong. Now, I could do something. I could bring in another Manchester United option because I've only got 2 of them. There are potential other ones. I could look at Brighton, but the aim would be to burn the transfer because I'm pretty sure someone will get injured, someone will get suspended, someone will get dropped, something will happen between now and the end of the season that I will need to react to. So I'm in the position where I plan on burning the transfer in Game Week 37, and then I'll have a transfer to react to if I need to. Game Week 38, the plan is to have 2 free transfers for the final day of the season where I can look to add some Arsenal players in particular, maybe some Liverpool coverage as well. So something like a Gordon to a Kai Havertz, if they're still fighting for the league for Everton at home, would give me a triple up on Arsenal. So White would come in, probably over Diego Dallo, probably start something that looked like that. Of course, I'm 1.4 million short, so I'd have to find money. Someone on my bench like Nicholas Jackson could go. Someone like Chris Wood, if they're still fighting on the final day, is in my thoughts away at Burnley as well. The second transfer, I'm not 100% sure on, but I am looking at attackers from either Arsenal or Liverpool, given I don't have any coverage in attack for both of those teams. So that is the plan over the next few weeks. I'm not booking in any transfers between now and the end of the season because crazy things happen when you have 4 weeks left of the Premier League and 4 weeks left of FPL as well. So that is the current plan on the Game Week 35 wildcard. Cole Palmer, make him my captain. Son, vice captain. Any questions you have about my wildcard, about Game Week 35 for the run-in, what transfers you want to make, drop it all in the comment section down below. I'll answer as many as I can. I'll cover some in my final decisions video this afternoon where I'll update you if there's any changes to my wildcard after the press conferences. And of course, there'll be a 2-hour deadline stream tomorrow morning as well. Thank you all so much for watching. 1,000 likes is the aim. Subscribe if you're new around here, and I'll be back again very soon.